Well, the first few years I wasn't even making money off YouTube, but once I started making money, I was making $1 a day, and I saved up for a couple months. I bought a microphone, saved up for half a year, I got a computer, and I've just always reinvested it. And so it's like literally just all. I mean, I was like as awkward as they came, no money, no nothing, and I just basically just obsessed over YouTube every day for a decade.
Are your first episodes available, when you were 11 years old?
No, because I had a friend when I was 13 that found my channel, and so I deleted like all the videos. I got really self-conscious.
Oh no!
I know, but so everything from 13 and up is there, and yeah, they're fucking terrible.
That's still cool. When did YouTube first get? When did it launch?
Like 2006 or whatever.
Yeah,
YouTube was a thing, but like the partner program wasn't really a thing. No one was making money. When I was doing YouTube when I was 14 and 15, now, you know, it's cool if you want to be a YouTuber in high school or middle school. Back then, like, no one gave a fuck. You know what I mean? It was like, you're just worried they would try to play your videos in class or make fun of you or stuff like that for it.
So, but how did it evolve to what it is now? Was it a vision? Was it a slow, sort of a gradual increase in numbers? And
yeah, I mean, it was about as slow as it gets. When I was a young teenager, I was getting no views, had no money, had no equipment. And so for the most part, it was just like, I was just trying to scrounge money so I could buy equipment because I was using my brother's old laptop. And so like my first couple hundred videos, I didn't have a microphone. And so once I got monetized, I saved up for a few months. Like I told you, I bought a microphone and I saved up for like 6 months. I mean, I was just doing video game videos and they were terrible, but I saved up, I got a real computer. So now I could actually record the video game in high quality. I have a microphone, I'm like 15 and I just kept going and going. Up until 18, I had been doing YouTube pretty religiously, but I was making no money. Like this is kind of the turning point was when I graduated from high school. And my whole life, I was like, I want to be making enough money by the time I graduated to do this full time. And I wasn't. I was still only making a couple $100 a month. So I graduated high school and my mom was like, either move out or go to a community college. And I didn't have enough money to move out, but I hated school with a passion. But she forced me to go to community college. And that was the worst thing ever. Like that made me hate life. Like borderline suicidal. I just can't stand like having to just sit there and listen to this dumb stuff and listen to some teacher read out a book. So what I did was I would act like I was going to community college, but I would just work on videos in my car and edit and stuff like that. I had straight zeros.
Were you aware of that? Like that you're running a risk?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I would act like I was going to college that whole time, but I wasn't. And I didn't have enough money to move out. And that was kind of when I was just like 15 hours a day, all in. I was like, I'm fucked if this doesn't work. And I had some videos pop off. I couldn't tell you which ones, but I had a month where I made 20 grand because I just had some videos just do really, really well. And then I came home and I was like, yeah, I haven't been going to college, and I moved out the next day. My mom almost had a heart attack because she didn't understand YouTube or anything back then, and she was like, man, this guy's gonna work at McDonald's. I wasted all this time. Like I invested 18 years, and this is what I get.
And so, how does she feel now?
Oh, she's great.
Is she like
she's beyond happy. Yeah, she loves it. You know, put her in front of her friends. She loves talking about it. She obviously. We would fight all the time. Even in high school, like, you know, I never once studied. I literally wouldn't even take my books home. Like I legit don't think I studied once all of high school at my house. So we would fight a lot. I didn't have the best grades. And so I would just make videos, and she didn't understand it, especially because back then it was just a whole different world. Like yeah, there wasn't really a thing as a full-time YouTuber and stuff. I had like horrible acne. I'm, you know, especially back then, really awkward. It's like no one, like people would have bet $1 million that I wouldn't be a YouTuber. You know, it makes no sense. But I have, you know, hyper obsession, and I love this. And you know, you give it enough time, anyone can solve it.
Well, there's a lesson in that for people, really. Like to just, if you do have a hyper obsession to something, there's a lot of people that think that because they're bad at school or because they're not interested in school, that they're destined to be a loser.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
Well, and you take it a step further, because I thought, especially if you're like extremely passionate about something at a young age, where most kids are, then it's more exacerbated that it's like, you know, I didn't talk to anyone. I hardly had any friends because I was so obsessed with YouTube. As back then, just no one cared. So it's like, I thought I was just like, just didn't even know how to speak. Like literally, I just couldn't hold a conversation with a single person because people would just tell me all you talk about is YouTube. And I would try to talk about something else. But back then I was so hyper obsessed that I literally just didn't know how to.
But what were you obsessed about? Were you obsessed about other channels, your channel?
Everything from like learning how to editing, the pacing of the videos, like ideas, what's going viral, what's trending, what's hot. Especially back then, I had no idea what worked. I mean, I had to like self-teach myself everything, even, you know, frame rate on cameras, coloring of the video, just stuff like that.
And how did you learn? Did you learn from YouTube?
Most of my growth came actually after I graduated high school. Basically what I did was I somehow found these other like 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts, 1 was a high school dropout, and 1, I don't know, he just like quit his job. We all were super small YouTubers, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper study like what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what's good pacing, like how to go viral. And we would just call it like daily masterminds. We would just get on Skype every morning, and like some days like I'd get on Skype at 7 a.m. and I'd be in the call until like 10 p.m. and then I'd go to bed and I'd wake up and I'd do it again. And you know, we'd do things like just take 1,000 thumbnails and see if like there's a correlation to the brightness of the thumbnail to how many views it got, or like, you know, like videos that get over 10 million views is like how often do they cut the camera angles, or like things like that.
Really? So you micro-analyzed
everything.
Really?
Yeah, just I mean, for like we were very religious about it, and so that's where most of my knowledge came from. Is I just surround myself with these lunatics, and just every day, like we didn't do anything. We had no life.
But everybody had sort of a similar vision.
Yeah, exactly. And so we all had like 10, 20,000 subscribers when we met, and by the time we stopped talking, we all had millions of subscribers, and we all hit 1 million subscribers like within a month. It's crazy, because it's like if you envision a world where you're trying to be great at something, and it's just like you learning and fucking up and then learning from your mistakes. You in 2 years, you know, might have learned from 20 mistakes, or if you have like 4 other people who are also messing up, and when they learn from their mistake, they teach you what they learn, stuff like that. Hypothetically, you 2 years down the road have learned like 5 times more of the amount of stuff. So it just like helps you grow exponentially way quicker. So
but it's interesting that you thought about it that way in sort of a systematic approach. Like
exactly.
So it's not dumb luck.
I mean, it was like they say 10,000 hours in master or something. We
Yeah.
probably put in like 40, 50,000 hours. I mean,
Wow.
we're talking like every day, all day, like literally nothing. We had no friends outside of the group. That was your life.
And what do you have now? 90 million subscribers?
Well, we across everything, we're closing in on 200 million subscribers.
Jesus!
Have you seen our dub channels?
No.
Can you pull that up? Just search Mr. Beast and Espanol hit videos. Yeah, we have voice actors and everything.
Wow.
So these are the exact same videos on my main channel, but we pay voice actors to dub over them. We translate the text in the video, everything.
Mr. Beast and Espanol.
Yeah, that was actually one of the fastest growing channels last year, and it's just our videos
so
dubbed.
smart.
Search Mr. Beast Brazil. Yeah, we do a bunch of languages.
Oh, so you got a Portuguese translator as well.
And so, because, you know, if you Google it, it's like only, whatever, less than 10% of the world speaks English. So 90% of the world can't even enjoy your content. And when I realized that, I was like, wait a minute. 90% of the world can't even watch this stuff. And so go back to the Spanish one real quick, because that's our biggest one. Like, we just started doing this like 6 months ago, and it's crazy like how viral some of these videos
Wow,
are going.
51 million.
Yeah. And
The problem with me is like, I don't know if someone's going to translate it, if they're going to say exactly what I said.
well, you have quality control. So we have like, before a video gets uploaded, we have 3 different people who basically write the transcript, and then if the words don't line up on all 3, then, or sorry, let me think about the process. We have something like that, because I was worried about that as well. I think we take the original transcript, and then we have it dubbed, and then after stuff, we have like 2 different people write out, and if it doesn't line up with the original, then there's like, it's a red flag, and then we look at it.
Interesting.
Yeah, we built some system where I don't have to worry about that. Oh, and the final point is, in Spanish, the guy who does my dubs is the same guy who dubs Spider-Man. We managed to convince him. So a lot of those comments are like, why does he sound like Spider-Man? Or is Mr. Beast Spider-Man?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so what we do is when we go into these markets, we get celebrities to do my voice. So then like the local people in the language freak out. So like, Japan's coming up, and I can't say who, but we secured like a giant voice actor from an anime to do my dubs, and whenever we launch in Japan, I know they're gonna lose their freaking minds.
That's a brilliant idea. So you have how many employees then?
I mean, across everything, over 100. I don't know. It's been
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are you, 23?
Yeah. I think I just had the blessing of finding what I loved at a young age. So like, because to get to this level, it takes, you know, a decade. Most people don't find what they love till their young 20s. So they'd be where I'm at in their 30s. I just lucked out and found it when I was really young.
It's that, but it's also your vision. The fact, one of the things that I was really impressed by when I started looking into you after my daughter introduced me is that you invest so much money into
all
the show.
Money I make. I don't. Why do I need money?
So you don't like go crazy? You don't have a Ferrari or anything nuts?
No. I think living your life chasing like a nicer car and a bigger and bigger box to live in is kind of like a dumb way to go about life.
Right.
Yeah, and just drive a normal car. Well, now I drive a Tesla just because of the, you know, getting off of gas and stuff like
Right.
that.
So you don't go crazy at all with cash?
No.
You don't?
I really try not to. I think that's like just a bad way to go about life. Also, it is a little hypocritical because I run a nonprofit, and we have you seen our Beast Philanthropy channel?
No.
We do a lot of stuff for helping people, and so also if I lived in a $10 million mansion while I'm feeding people and trying to help people, also in my eyes it's also a little hypocritical as well. So